Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. It's an NFL draft recap and review show, and we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs right now. With 5:12 left to go in the fourth quarter, the Cavs are down by 23 points as they trail 110 to 87 with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Well, the Cavs really just better get something going, but it sure doesn't look like they're going to take game one. We'll talk about more about that later. And I'm going to talk about all the Browns draft picks and a few draft picks that thought were good and a few that surprised me. We'll get to all that, but first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 NBA playoffs trivia question. Who were the 1974 NBA Western Conference champions? I will have the answer later on the podcast. Right now, I'm going to begin the NFL Draft Recap Review podcast. As you know, in round two, the Browns took pick 54. They selected Michael Hall Jr., defensive tackle, Ohio State. In round three, they selected with pick 85 guard Zach Zinter from Michigan. In round five, with pick number 156, the Browns took Jamari Thrash, wide receiver in Michigan. In round six, with pick number 206, Browns selected Nathaniel Watson, linebacker, Mississippi State. And in round seven, there were two picks in round seven. The first one was 227, on which they selected Miles Harding, cornerback, South Dakota. And with pick 243 in round seven, the Browns selected Jawan Briggs, defensive tackle, Cincinnati. First, those are the picks they selected, and we're going to talk about the defensive tackle, Michael Hall Jr., who they got from Ohio State. At 6 foot, 280 pounds, Hall brings a unique skillet to the Browns' defense. In his 3 seasons at Ohio State, Hall tallied 45 tackles, 10 tackles for a loss, and 6 sacks. His best season came during the 2023 season, as he set a career high of 24 total tackles. He can really make the plays. He can run up the middle, and he can really play inside and outside either way. So he's a great addition to the Browns roster. Now we're going to talk about Zach Zinter, the guard they got from Michigan. Zinter returned for his senior season at Michigan with hopes of pursuing a national championship with his teammates. However, he missed the final 3 seasons of the 2023 season after he endured a broken tibia and fibula in Michigan's win over Ohio State in November 2023. However, Zinter said on Friday night that he has been cleared from his injury and is continuing to build strength. Zinter finished his collegiate career playing 45 games with 42 starts. He played 2,554 offensive snaps and allowed 3 sacks and 1,141 pass blocking snaps. He was also named a first-team Associated Press All-American in 2023, and he's 6'6", 310 pounds. Now we'll talk about Jamari Thrash, the wide receiver we got from Louisville. He's 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. He spent the first part of his collegiate career at Georgia State before he transferred to Louisville for his final season. Thrash redshirted in 2019 and played 3 games as a reserve in his 4 seasons at Georgia State. Thrash caught 104 receptions for 1,752 yards, and 12 touchdowns, as well as 3 carries for 10 yards. Then at Louisville, Thrash caught passes for 858 receiving yards, and 6 touchdowns, and 1 carry for 12 yards, and a touchdown. Thrash believes his one season in the ACC under Coach Jeff Borham's poster offense gave him an opportunity to learn about NFL offenses as well as mature as a player heading into his NFL career. And I think this was a good pick because the Browns, I thought, were needing to take a wide receiver. And outside of his role at wide receiver, Thrash served as a gunner his lone season at Louisville. He also has other special teams experience as he was a punt returner in high school at Troup County High School. He's willing to expand that area of his game with the Browns and play on special teams if called upon. And the Browns view Thrash as a player who can play both inside and outside and really make good plays. And I agree with that. He's a competitive kid. Director of Player Personnel Dan Sagany said he's had production inside and out throughout his college career, and he's a good playmaker with the ball in his hands. So excited to add him to the room and let him compete. Sagany also said Thrash can get off the line even as a slider and toughness to his game, which Sagany believes are traits that help receivers find their way onto the field. And now we're going to talk about Nathaniel Watson, the linebacker the Browns got from Mississippi State. He's 6 feet, weighs 233 pounds. In 6 seasons at Mississippi State, Watson totaled 377 tackles for a loss and 21 sacks. He also recorded 2 interceptions, 5 passes defended, 2 fumble recoveries, and 3 forced fumbles, excuse me. He has been a very productive player at Mississippi State throughout his career, said Browns area scout Matt Donahue. He's one of the smarter guys they had on their defense. A lot was required out of him. Reviews on him were good the last couple of years going in there. So I think when you get a guy that's tough, physical, loves the game of football, I think that's a great guy to add to the program here. In 2022, Watson was named second team All SEC. He led the team with 12 tackles for a loss and tied the team lead with 6 sacks. Then in 2023, Watson was a finalist for the Butkus Award, honoring the nation's top linebacker. He was also named 3rd team Associated Press All-American and 1st team All-SEC. Watson led the SEC with 137 tackles in the 2023 season. And we'll get to the other 3, Myles Harden and the other 3, Myles Harden and the other 2, and in just a moment. But right now, it's time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 NBA Playoffs Trivia question. Who were the 1974 NBA Western Conference champions? And if you said the Milwaukee Bucks, you are correct. They were defeated by the Celtics in the NBA Finals 4-3. MVP was Celtics John Havlicek, and Milwaukee was in the Western Conference back then. Then they moved to the Eastern Conference. I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. Now we'll talk about Myles Harden, the quarterback they got from South Dakota. He's 5'11", weighs 195 pounds. Harden played 4 seasons for South Dakota In 2020, he started all 4 games of the team's spring season, totaling 16 tackles, 9 passes defended, and 2 interceptions. In 2021, he played the first 6 games with 5 starts before he missed the remainder of the season due to a leg injury. Then in 2022, Harden led the team with 3 interceptions and 4 forced fumbles. He tied the team lead with 6 pass breakups. Harden started the first 6 games of the season, totaling 44 tackles, 4 tackles for a loss, 1 sack, and 9 pass breakups before he missed the rest of the season due to a foot injury. In 2023, Harden was named a team captain. He tallied 58 total tackles, 1 fumble recovery, 7 passes defended, and 1 interception. And defended 1 interception. Excuse me. He was named a 3rd-team Associated Press FCS All-American and first-team All-Missouri Valley Football Conference. He led the team with 6 pass breakups and started all 13 games. And now we will talk about the final pick. These are the last 2 picks I was talking about. We did 4 of them. And right now we're going to talk about the last one, which was Jowon Briggs, defensive tackle, Cincinnati. 6'1", weighs 313 pounds. And Briggs played his first 2 seasons with Virginia and tallied 39 tackles, 7 tackles for a loss and 4 sacks. Then he transferred to Cincinnati in 2021. In 3 seasons with Cincinnati, Briggs recorded 130 tackles, 14.5 tackles for a loss, and 8 sacks. Briggs was team captain for the 2023 season and tallied 27 tackles with 6 tackles for a loss and 2 sacks for over 12 starts. He also earned all Big 12 honorable mention escalades. And the Cavs get blown out by 25 points tonight in game 1. Now it's at 1-0, 120-95. Not a good start. They're going to have to tie it up in game 2. So, and that will be Thursday at 7 o'clock. So, hopefully they can tie it up at game 2. So we shall see. We'll talk about that in just a few moments. I'm excited for Jowon Briggs and his family to realize his dream of playing in the NFL. Cincinnati head coach Scott Satterfield said, I fully expect him to make an impact with the Browns because he already has carried himself like a pro for years and he has an outstanding ethic and was a great leader for us. He's also one of the strongest players I've ever been around. I look forward to watching him play on Sundays. Now I feel the Browns had a fantastic draft, and they made some great draft picks, and they got the guys they wanted. Andrew to put on their roster. Andrew Berry knew exactly what he was doing. He knew the guys he wanted to get, and did just that. And I give the Browns a B+. My sports co-anchor, Keith Norman, who's better known as KL, Keith in Lakewood, he gives him a B-, who I do sports with down Magnolia Clubhouse. So we both had a kind of a difference of opinion, but we both give him B. I give B+, he gives B-. So now I'm going to talk about some other players that I felt were good. This is one I thought was a great pick. The Bears taking quarterback Caleb Williams from USC with the first pick in the draft was a great choice with the Bears having traded Justin Fields to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But the big question is, can the Bears develop him in minicamp and training camp in for in time for him to be able to start the regular season? That's what's good. They're going to have to develop him if they want him to start because it's not. He's a rookie quarterback, and a lot of rookie quarterbacks have not done well if they've started the regular season or during the regular season. So he's going to have to work really hard if he wants to do it. Or otherwise, it may be. I think Nick Foles might be starting for Chicago, something like that. I don't know who they're, but they have not had a decent starting quarterback since Sid Lockman in 1939. Jim McMahon was semi-solid, but he was always injured. So they need a good, solid starting quarterback. The Bears. I think this was a good choice. Now I feel the Minnesota Vikings taking quarterback JJ McCarthy from Michigan came as a surprise to me because I originally thought that the LA Chargers were going to take him, but that was not the case. Apparently, the Chargers did not want to make the trade, and McCarthy said he wanted to go to Minnesota. He was very happy when the Vikings selected him with the 11th pick in the draft. So I thought that was a great pick for them. That was an awesome pick and kind of a surprising one too. And and I'm gonna explain some more picks, and now I got to back up here. I think the Seattle Seahawks taking. I'll say no, I didn't want that one. Oh, not that one. Taking Brian Murphy the second. They needed to take a defensive tackle, and I think this was a good choice. And he is an outstanding run defender with a low center of gravity and explosive power. And he finds the ball off blocks, and he gets off blocks and pursues with a good effort. He really gets into grabs and disrupts plays in the backfield too. So he's a really good choice for Seattle. I really thought they made a great choice with him. Those are just a few that I thought were great picks. So that's basically my NFL uh, and right now, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs. Well, the Cavs fell to the in game one of the Eastern Conference semifinals. They fell by 25, 120 to 95 tonight. They lose to the Celtics. They're down two games to one game to nothing. Excuse me. And I gotta tell you, the Cavs never led once in this game. They never did. And let's see. Donovan Mitchell led the way at the 33 points, six rebounds, and three assists. Uh, and Evan Mobley had 17 points, 13 rebounds, three assists. Man, Darius Garland, 14 points, three rebounds, five assists. And Isaac Crow had 11 points, two rebounds, one assist. And those were the four Cavs players in double figures. And Mobley only had 4 points in the first quarter, but had 11 in that second half. He managed to get 7 more and total up 11 points. And they were down 40 to 34 at the end of the first quarter. Then they were down 59 to 49 at the end of the second quarter, at the end of the first half. And then they were down. They had it was 92 to 87 at the end of the third quarter. And then it was just all Celtics. The Cavs just going to do anything right tonight. And they lose 120 to 95. They will have to regroup. This is not going to be an easy series for the Cavs by any means in this series. And they will have to try to tie it up in game one Thursday at 7 o'clock and that will be in Boston once again. They will have to try and tie it up. It's Thursday at 7, and I think that will be. I have to see if it's going to be televised. Where on ESPN? That's where it'll be on. So hopefully they can tie it up then. So they've got a lot of work to do to get ready for Game 2, and so. And the Mavericks and Thunder will be kicking off their game one. That's coming up at 9:30 in about 3 minutes. So, and then tomorrow the Pacers and Knicks will do their game two in round two of the Eastern Conference semifinals, and then Cavs are back Thursday. So we shall see. And the let you know a little, to give you a little Major League Baseball score with the Guardians. They lose to the Tigers 11-7 tonight, and oh, this is a bad loss for them. That fought at 23-13 on the season. Logan Allen was on the hill for him tonight. He went 2 innings, we have hits, 7 earned runs, had 2 beats and bat, and struck out 2 players, and the bullpen came in and they just fell apart. They couldn't do any better, so they'll have to have one more game with the Tigers tomorrow. So and that will be at 1:10, and then after that they will. I gotta see where they will head after that series with the Tigers. Then the White Sox will come in for a 4-game set. So hopefully the Guardians can get back on the winning track tomorrow. Hopefully. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 NFL recap review show. And I'll be back with another podcast later this week or this weekend. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. Everybody, 3, 2, 1. I'm done.